Hi there, well I'm Pam Carr from Cowboy Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how to make this honeysuckle headband. It's a really pretty headband, and it fits around your head and it has these little ties to tie it, and it's really pretty and very easy to make. So what you're going to need for this headband is I've got a 3-weight yarn here. I'm using some yarn that was gifted to me, and it's a 3-weight, which is a lightweight yarn. And so I'm going to be using a J hook with it. You can use any 3 lightweight yarn that you want. I like this because I'm trying to make the honeysuckle headband seem like a springy, summery type of headband, and so the lightweight is really appropriate for that too. So I've got a J hook, and this J hook happens to be 5.75 millimeters. Some J hooks are not the same, but this is a 5.75 millimeter hook that I'm using for this project. Then there's a yarn needle, and then I've got this giant pair of scissors because I'm at my friend's and I can't locate my little crochet scissors, so I'm using her great big scissors. Okay, so that's what we're going to need for this project. As I said, it's the honeysuckle headband, and it's made with the moss stitch. And I explain it all in the video, so join me for this beautiful tutorial and you'll end up with a nice headband at the end of it. Thank you for joining me. Here we go. So this is a little cake. This is called a cupcake, I think. It's called Karen Cupcakes. And they did have a little pom-pom that came with it. I think it was for making baby hats. But I'm going out from the middle of this cake. When I work with cakes, I like to sort of find the yarn at the middle, the beginning of the yarn, and work with that. Okay? So I think this is going to look really pretty. So I'm going to start out making a slip knot. I wrap the yarn around my finger twice, pull it over and pull it over and put my hook in there. This is my J hook, and there's 3 lightweight yarn. Okay, so I'm going to chain 66. 1, yarn over, pull it through, 2, yarn over, pull it through, 3, yarn over. When you put it yarn over and you're making a chain, I always like to turn it sideways so the hook is going through like this, okay? And I'm going to go up to 66. Okay, so I'm sorry, after measuring it, I decided we only needed to chain 62. So I hope that doesn't mix you up. If you've made 66, just take 4 off, okay? Pull back 4 stitches. Now we're going to work into the 4th chain from the hook. So this is on the hook, so we're not counting that. That's a chain, 1, 2, and there's 1 that's been pulled tight, 3, and then we're working into the 4th chain from the hook. So we just put a hook straight in. We don't put the yarn over because it's a single crochet. Yarn into that 4th chain from the hook, yarn over and pull it through. Now we've got 2 loops on there, yarn over and pull it through. Now this row we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip a chain, which is that tight one there, and we're going to make a single crochet into the next chain. Right? Now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip another chain, which is this one, and we're going to make a single crochet into the next chain. Okay? Chain 1, skip a chain, that one, and we're going to single crochet into the next chain. Some of the chains get pulled tight, some of them are looser. Chain 1, and look, and you should be able to see the V's. Can you see those V's there? Those are, each one of those V's is a chain. Okay, so we're going to skip a chain, and we're going to go into the next one and make a single crochet. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to look at our V's again, and we're going to skip that one, and we're going to go into the next one. And that's what we're going to do all the way across. Chain 1, skip a chain, make a single crochet into the next chain, all the way down to the end. Okay, and I'll meet you there. This is actually called, sometimes it's called the moss stitch, sometimes it's called the granite stitch, sometimes grit stitch, I think, linen stitch, lots of different names for this. So here we are at the end. I've just done a single crochet. I'm now going to, and let me see if I chained 1 or not. No, that's a single crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to skip a stitch. We should have two chains at the end, skip a chain and single crochet into that last chain, and then we're going to move up to our next row. So to move on to the next row, we are going to chain 2. So I'm going to chain 2. And I do have a video on how to do the moss stitch. So let's chain 2 here. That's going to act as a chain 1 and a single crochet. And the last stitch we did was this single crochet. And if you look very closely, you can see right there underneath where you've chained your 2, there's a V. That's the single crochet stitch. So when you're going to go single crochet into the chain 1 space, that's where you go. Okay? Because this is a bigger hook and a thin yarn. It's difficult to see what's the difference between the space that's in the middle of a single crochet like that and the space where the chain 1 is. But once we get this first row done, it will become easier. But can you see here? There's a completed single crochet. So we've chained 1. Now we're going to skip over that and we're going to make a single crochet right into there. Okay? And now we're going to chain 1. And we are going to find the next single crochet, which is here. See those 2? So we're going to go single crochet into that one. Chain 1. And here is our other completed single crochet. There's the V and there's a V that you can see going into that chain stitch. You can see them both together into that chain stitch. So we're going to single crochet into there. Chain 1. It's all going to get a little bit tighter. Now there we have our other, you can see that piece of yarn going in there, and there, that's the V. It's just that bloomin' chain 1 is gappy, but we'll get over it. Chain 1, and here we go. So all the way along, you need to be using your fingers to spot where those single crochets are. You see that? You could think that's a chain 1 space. It's not. It's where the single crochet is going in. So go in where my finger is there. That's going to be where you single crochet. Chain 1. Go across with your fingers. That's it. And you can message me if you have any problems. But if you're having problems, you could also go check out my moss stitch tutorial. But I think it's pretty clear. You can see those V's there. And that's the chain 1 space. So work all the way across, chaining 1, single crochet into the next chain 1 space. Okay, see you at the end. And then when you get to the end, I've got to my final, I did my final single crochet. I've chained 1. I'm going to skip over that, and we're going to make a single crochet in the end. And we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to turn our work, and we're going to make a single crochet into the first space. Okay, so that's here. Oh no, it's not here. This is the same thing that happened before. Like, this is what I say, this is the tricky bit. Those 2 pieces of yarn are going into that. That is the single crochet. This is the space, and here beside it we can see another single crochet, right? So that's what we're looking for. When I first started doing the moss stitch, I got really tripped up by that. Chain 1, here we go. There's our V. It almost looks like a V stitch, but it's a single crochet. Do a single crochet, chain 1, then we skip, and there's our other V. Into there, chain 1, there's our other V, and we're going to see this stitch pattern starting to show up for us. Chain 1, skip over the V of the single crochet, and we're going to do this all the way across. I want to show you what it looks like. Let's go to the other side of that V, chain 1, and it's just starting. You see the V, and then up above it here we're going to have them alternating into the next space. So work across here, and then we'll get to the end and we'll start the next. And here we are at the end, and I'm making my last single crochet there, and there we can see the V from the final one, and we're going to go chain 1 and then work into that last space on the opposite side. It's right where the turning chain is. Okay, chain 2, and now it's starting to tighten up. You can see the pattern much more clearly. starting to evolve. This is the right side. And you can see the V is there from the first row, the V is there from the second row, the V is there. It's alternating, and it's called the linen stitch or the grit stitch or the moss stitch, whatever you prefer. So now we've chained 2 up, and we here have the first V, it's the last V stitch from the previous row, and we are going to chain 2. We're not going to put the yarn over, we're going to do a single crochet into that first space, and they should be starting to be clearer now, not so many gappy bits. There's the V, that's the chain 1 space, right? V, chain 1 space in there. Chain 1. There's the V, there's the chain 1 space. Put your hook into that space, do a single crochet all the way across, okay? I just want to stop and point this out to you here. You see, I've been going in, there's my single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and I've come to this place, and that looks like it could be a chain 1 space. It's bigger than the actual chain 1 space, which is very confusing, okay? So really look out and make sure that you've got those 2 V's from your single crochet there. I've chained 1, I'm going to go right over there, and that is the space, because look, there's your other V from the single crochet. So this is the chain 1 space. So don't let it trick you. Chain 1. Now, there you see, that's a V. There's a V from the single crochet. That in between is the chain 1 space. Okay, so that's just a little tip, because that, when I first started doing it, oh my goodness, I thought, where's the chain 1 space? What am I doing here? So I hope this helps you. Here I am at the end. I've done my single crochet, chain 1, skip over and do a single crochet right in that last space where the turning chain is. Chain 2, turn your work. We're going to start our other side. So this is how it's starting to look, our moss stitch. It's really pretty, and it's going to make a really nice headband. So we've done 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to let you go away and finish 4 more rows. If you want it wider, you can make it wider. If you don't want it quite so wide, you can do less. But I'm going to do 4 more rows, and I'll come back to you and show you how to make the ties, okay? So here we are. I have finished the 4 rows, and now it's exactly what we wanted for our headband. We wanted it to be about 2 inches wide, and that is 2 inches wide, okay? And then the length of it is about 17 inches, just over 17 inches, which is good. It makes a nice stretchy band, okay? So that we are now going to, now I've come to the end. I'll show you how I finished off. I came to the end, and I did my last single crochet in there, and then I went in between where that turning chain was, and I did another single crochet. Now I'm not going to fasten it off because we're going to make our ties, because there's going to be a tie in each of these corners. So I'm now going to chain 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll meet you at the end of 30. So here I am. I've done my 30 chains. I'm just going to cut off the yarn, pull it through. And what I like to do at the end of these types of things is just tie a little knot like that where this chain is, not just the yarn, the chain actually is knotted. And then I just like to cut it off very short like that. Okay, and that is one of our ties. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other corner. We're going to put our hook in the corner like that. We're going to pick up our yarn, and we're going to do another 30 chains. So we just have to, I fold it over like that, pull it through, start with one, just like that, and then drop that loose tie. We'll weave that in later, and we're going to do 30 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll meet you at the end, and once again I fastened it off, and I'm just going to wrap the yarn around my finger like that, pull it through, and make a knot right at the end of the chain, and just trim off that little piece of yarn. So now we go, that's this end. Okay, so we've got the 2 ties There, let's weave this one in while we're at it, okay? See if we can get down to the dark pink. So I've put my yarn through there, through the yarn needle, pull it through. Then I might go this way a little bit. Up and down. And then maybe up and down through here. Taking it back. Because our yarn is short, I can now thread it through my needle after I've done my little weaving in and out, and pull it tight and cut that off. And then we go to the other end. And here we have an end. Why don't we just leave that and we'll weave it in when we do our other ends, okay? Okay, so we're going to thread that into that corner. Do 30. And I'm going to do the same on the other corner. So I'll meet you back when I've done both my other 30 chain ties. So here we are, we've got the other 2 ties made. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to weave in the ends on this side. Trying to get through so that most of this end is going to be woven in where the bright pink is, so it doesn't get in the way of the light pink. I like to go in 3 different directions just to secure the yarn so it doesn't come out. So that's one of the ends woven in. We've got this one, which is when we started our chain, so we've got to weave that end in. So I'll put that through a few there. Go in that direction. And then this way. That's that one. And then we've just got the other one from the other corner. There we are. That's our last one. So let's look at, this is our honeysuckle headband. So you can use any color yarn you like. And this is made with a 3-weight. If you want to make a honeysuckle out of all you have is worsted weight yarn, then the 4-weight yarn, you can do that, but you would just need to use 60 chains to start with. And maybe do fewer rows, measure it to see where it's 2 inches. I think 6 inches in the worsted weight would make it a 2-inch headband. So yeah, so then you just wrap this around your head and tie it behind your head with these beautiful ties. Okay, I hope you enjoy your honeysuckle headband. Let's get this stuff out of the way and then you can see it, okay? So thank you very much for joining me today. I'm Pam Carr from Caraway Crochet. And please do subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment if you have any ideas or any requests for future videos. Let me know what you think. And hit the bell if you want notifications. I do some lives from time to time as well. But they're quite spontaneous. Okay, thank you for joining me. And I hope you enjoy your honeysuckle headband.